Greetings from Decatur, Texas. This is David with Wired Equipment. I'm happy that I got one more tick box done on my to-do list. Been meaning to hit this one. I've been working on this for months. Getting everything coordinated. I don't know why this was so difficult, but I finally got my truck branding done today. Look at that beautiful contrast. The yellow pops on that gray. Doesn't that look great? Thank you, Billy, over at Dawg Graphics and Design in Boyd, Texas. He did an amazing job. Let's do a little walk around. These are vinyl decals. Got the QR code. He actually had to print this. He said this was impossible to do as a single color decal, but the rest of these were printed on a single color vinyl and they just cut by his machine. Got the back done. Another QR code. The company URL, our fantastic Wired Equipment logo by my in-house designer and bride. It looks fantastic. I'm so happy with how this turned out. If you need any graphics or design, some application, wrap, hats, t-shirts, it'll come out with this good a quality and better, I'm sure. Maybe even better, who knows. But anyway, thanks again for the great job from Dawg in Boyd, Texas. This is Dave Denon with Wired Equipment. Thank you.
I know I started with the end product for this part of the video. In order to give real credit to the professional that massaged the image data, cut it, and applied it, it seemed only appropriate to go through some of the final steps to get where we ended up in the intro. Billy at Dawg Graphics and Design is located just south of Decatur in a small town called Boyd. Dawg has spent several years developing relationships with local businesses. They do the branding and image application for several construction, trucking, and equipment businesses in the area. Let's get into a little bit of my process with Dawg. After a few revisions of the image data, Billy fed the vinyl sheet material into his industrial printer, which is capable of both color printing and material cutting. Since most all of my decals were the same color, the printer's job here was to cut the patterns in the vinyl material. After the batch of material cuts are done, the sheet is laid on the backlighted table and excess material is removed, leaving only the residual patterns attached to the backing. In this shot, you can see Billy carefully removing the waste material. The master at work.
So they say.
After the desired residual patterns have been proofed, a delicate adhesive material similar to masking tape is stretched carefully and evenly over the final proof. The purpose of this material is to maintain the spatial integrity of each of the floating elements of the proof images, which makes it possible to apply the final proof images to the surface, in this case my truck. Later in the video, you'll see how important this material is and how it contributes to the perfection that Billy makes look so easy. One thing to point out in this segment is that the outside environmental conditions were not ideal. You can hear the rain pounding the ground as Billy works under the enclosure that is protecting the truck and his work. Here the application tape is still attached to the vinyl decals as he applies them to the truck. He does about 1/2 the image, tears out the backing, and uses a rubber applicator to apply consistent pressure on the decal and application tape to activate the adhesive against the surface. When 1/2 the image is applied, he folds the backing over the applied decal section and carefully begins the process on the second half. Watch Billy's technique. The adverse conditions caused a few flaws during the process of the decal application though. I didn't show Billy going back to correct the flaws to ensure a perfect result. Finally, Billy removes the application tape to leave the vinyl decal applied to the truck. One more time, I want to thank Billy and his team at Mad Dog Design and Graphics. As wired equipment scales up, there will only be one place for me to get my branding decals applied to my equipment. Dang, that looks good. Thanks for watching.